Welcome, welcome. So good to be with you this evening. Tonight is an historic night, and yeah, just so glad to have each and every single one of you here. I can see your names. Those of you I know already well, and I know some will be watching this later. Zeph, I can see your face. Love you, bro. It's cool to chat to you earlier. Guys, what a day, what a season. That's all I can say. I have not been this fired up and excited for a long time because this has been a long time in the making. And today, if you're unaware, it's the 11th of the 11th. For those of us that are into numbers and all things, that's a big number which talks about transition, basically. Also, my brother's birthday. Shout out to Michael. He might actually be on here already, if not later. He's been crushing it with all this stuff with us too behind the scenes. But tonight, guys, we've been on a long journey together. For those of you that have been with me since the beginning, and I was having good chats with Mario earlier today, we've been at this for, I don't know, 3.5, close to 4 years, learning this world of trading, learning this world of crypto, and obviously that journey has got us all to where we are right now, but how many of you believe that there is more? So drop more in the chat if you're excited for more, because yeah, God's been doing a lot behind the scenes with us, with my dad, myself, our community. It's actually been, jeez, I just forgot about that. But I remember at the beginning of the year, I said 2024 is going to be a year of 2020 more. And I said, for some of us, if we make no changes, it's going to be more of the same, right? More depression, more, whatever, more of the same, more boring, more inflation, more lack of results, or it can be more abundance, more breakthrough, more blessing if you decide to actually go after it. And so I'm still, we were in our new house, we sold our other one, traveled the world, came back here. I'm still setting up this room, believe it or not. It's not quite there yet. I'm still figuring out the kinks with sound. So if the sound's not ideal, I apologize, but we're working on it. We're getting all the little kinks ironed out. But tonight, we're really excited, guys. So for those of you that have been tracking with us for a long time, and those of you who are brand new, I'm going to fill you in a little bit on the journey as to how we got here and where we're going. And so, this year, ever since, so obviously all of you already know, we've been partnering with IM Academy for the last age. They've basically pioneered the space of trading education and doubling that with network marketing. No one had done that before. They were the first to do it, and they've been around for 11 and a half years. They pioneered it, grew crazy big, especially throughout COVID, and like did a literal 4x, as if we're not trading 4x. The company did a 4x in the midst of that. And so I got introduced to it, 3.5 years ago. Shortly after, it would have been the 2nd of November 2020, so just over 4 years ago, where I had come back from a season of being in America. My wife and I, we got married, sold everything, went to California, went all in on a leadership supernatural ministry school over there. Came back in 2015, went all in at serving at church and doing all things there, and felt God say real clearly, it's a season to serve my mom and dad, do church, do family, and don't do anything else. Don't do anything extra entrepreneurial or anything of that nature, which is definitely what I'm wired for. So for those who don't know, I used to be an electrician, used to have my own business, which is a glorified way of saying I worked for myself, and I surfed on days I wanted to, and I worked on other days. But at the same time, that was growing and scaling. And then I was importing, flipping supplements, doing entrepreneurial things. But then in coming back, felt like, okay, I don't have a green light for that right now. And so went through about 6-7 years of, just serving and leading at church, not doing anything extra. And I was slowly getting to a point where I felt like I was honestly dying inside, guys. I knew that there was more. I knew there was more people that God had called me to impact and serve and lead and help. And so 2nd of November 2020, Tracy, a really close family friend, called me out with a super clear vision, saw a whirlwind above my head with a signature in it, and said, God's calling you to the space of entrepreneurship, something with finance, something with risk, and something with goals. And she saw basically this golden signature inside of that funnel, which she felt was this God's weighty, heavenly, legal approval to launch something in this space. And so I sat on that for like 6 months. I hunted online, looked at all the different things. God highlighted this. Jess and I decided we're going to go all in. We're going to do this thing, not knowing how the heck we were going to afford it, what it was going to look like. And we started with just myself and then a few of my besties jumping in there early with me, Mario being one of them right in those early days. We grew, our community grew, and there became a few of us, a few dozen, then a few hundred. We traveled all over the world together, going to events, whether that was Arizona, Miami, Croatia, Budapest, just all over the show. And so it's been amazing, guys. It's been a phenomenal journey. And in Budapest this year, guys started to speak to me about really how much am I holding on to this thing and trying, are all my eggs in this basket, or do I trust you, basically? Like that was kind of what I was feeling in that season. And I just felt after that event to just literally let go, be in a complete surrender position and go, God, if this is not what you're breathing on and growing into the future, then do with it whatever you please. And so since then, our community's experienced a lot of shifts. I mean, for those of you that aren't aware, IM Academy pioneered this space. And every other trading education company that's got an ounce of network marketing attached to it has basically copycatted it. They've either been existing or old educators and leaders that have branched off to start their own thing. And it's honestly, guys, at this point, I believe network marketing and trading is kind of done. I believe it's turned into, unfortunately, a bit of a cesspool. I'm just giving you the insights because you've got too many people hopscotching around because we'll do it cheaper, we'll do it for you, we'll do this for you. And some companies have done things semi-illegal and been shut down over the years. And so I've been aware of this year more than ever, just going like, God, there's got to be something else for our community. I know you've really called us to pioneer something, and Dad's story is obviously huge for that. And so, yeah, decided to hold things lightly, guys, and just watch things play out this year, and really have not been in any way, shape, or form actively trying to build the community around IM Academy, knowing that I felt change was coming. And so part of our time in South Africa, really just lots of good, chats with Rich about what our community looks like, what we burn for. Like, we both just burn for the fit life, which is helping lead people into the fullness of, FIT, freedom, influence, and transformation. And when I say freedom, I mean freedom in your life holistically. I mean your spirit, your mind, your emotions, your body, your relationships, your finance, all of that. And so that's what I burn for. That's what Rich burns for. He doesn't necessarily burn for trading. He's got an amazing crypto investment thing. He's got his investments. He's learned a lot over the years, like we all have, but he doesn't call himself a day trader. Like, that's not what causes him to come alive. He comes alive specifically helping people become more fit and healthy and wellness, that kind of vibe. And so we naturally still chat a ton about that. And we were running pretty hard together, obviously, in the space over the last few years, but really got to this point of realizing, God's got some other things for us. And so, made the decision recently. It was that I wasn't going to go to the Mexico convention. It was really close in going, which was really strange to not go. I knew a lot of change was coming, and I'm grateful that Rich was there to experience a lot of that change firsthand. And so we've had lots of chats and realized, that was kind of the last thing. Before that event, I was about 99% ready to do what I've been asked by so many people left, right, and center. Like, when are you, Dad, launching your own thing? And so, before that event, I was really close. And after that event and chatting more with Rich, I just realized, I can see where the Academy's going. To be quite honest, IM Academy doesn't exist anymore. They've rebranded. They called the over. It's a new brand, a new name, same education, same educators, but they're also leaning more into the AI space specifically to educate people in that. And they're going to be bringing in health and wellness things, but it didn't feel like there was much right now that was brand new for trading. And so in light of that, I know that we've got something, and that God's given Dad something profound that a lot of you have seen, you've experienced at some of our live events. You saw what we demoed a couple weeks ago. And we just feel like it's time, guys. It is time to transition and for us to basically launch our own thing. And we thought, we can take our sweet time and, build a website and go branding and do all these different things and make a bunch of videos. And really, a lot of those videos that I would be creating would be a lot of foundational introductory stuff to trading for those that haven't actually gotten started yet. And I'm realizing I would be making all of you wait for a bunch of stuff that you don't need. And so, recently just decided, what the heck, let's do a soft launch, so to speak, and let our community that already knows relatively what they're doing with trading to have access to this. And then from there, we can start to scale and, build a website, do all those fancy things. But for now, we just know this thing works, and we want to finish this year off with you guys having access to this. And so, got a plan for what that looks like and, pricing, all that kind of jazz. But at this point, you probably noticed I haven't been aggressively building anything with the Academy since before even going on our global travels and things like that. I just didn't have peace to continue to drive that in a big way. Because personally, guys, it's been real authentic. I wasn't gaining value anymore. I had been through it all for 3.5 years at this point, and I got to a point where I was ready to move on and learn more things and keep growing and applying what I know, and so that's what I was. So I struggled to authentically heavily promote something that I'm not personally involved in, and so I am using my dad's stuff though, and so that's where we've landed. And I know a lot of you guys are excited for it, to get your hands on it and use it for yourself. And I'm just checking out our massively growing chat, see who's all here. So good to have you all with us, guys. I'm just checking in, seeing so many cool names. Man, I can't wait for our next in-person event. And so with that, I'll say this. We're aiming to have our next in-person event on Sunday night, the 8th of December, where we're going to bring our whole community together, do what we've done in the past, and we're all going to hang out. You can bring your laptops, do whatever you want in that space. Dad and I will obviously be doing some teaching on this, and that will be a place where we can show this to a few more people than ourselves. But you noticed I didn't put this all over Facebook. This is just for our community and anyone else who got a hold of the Zoom link that's interested to look into this space right now. But guys, it is for me to some degree, I believe, I guess, the end of an era and the beginning of a new one. I'm not necessarily completely tapping out of all things I am because we still have a community. There's still stacks of people that are in the community that I birthed that are, leading into all things crypto. Some are still all in on some things trading because they're resonating with a certain educator, and that's totally fine. So that's going to continue. It's just at this point, I know that what we have right here is going to provide a solution to, I believe, a lot of people's questions in how do I do this thing. And so without me waffling on any longer without time going on, I can get into more detail about what it's going to look in terms of how you guys are going to get access to it, what it's going to cost, all that kind of jazz, what we're prepared to offer you guys as a community as we build this out. But I think it's probably time for me to bring my dad on because, even since our last Zoom a couple of weeks ago, we've made more tweaks and changes. We've gotten to a point where Dad and I can take counter trend signals. We understand this indicator very well and how price moves with it. But we thought, you know what? We want to start at the pace of family and really increase everybody's probability of being profitable with it. So we've removed all counter trend signals, which is pretty massive. And so for anyone that's tempted to click the button when they see a signal that violates the rules, those signals are gone. And so as time progresses, as our community grows in its maturity with understanding this strategy and the way to use these indicators, we might be able to bring that back in because that's the beauty of it. Dad's now a full-blown developer, knows how to code, knows how to build things custom. And so tonight we're actually not showing you one indicator, we are showing you three. And so it's one main indicator on top of the charts and another two at the bottom that we're going to show you. But it is going to get wild, guys. And I cannot wait for you guys to get access to this. So without further ado, guys, drop some love in the chat for my dad, aka Tim Stevenson, as I bring him on here this evening. There we are, Dad. Good to have you. There we go. And so in case you have missed an introduction to who this man is, we go back pretty far. But obviously for the last 30 years, Dad's been basically in full-time leadership mode at church, pioneered our church from scratch, has grown it, has traveled the world, preached on stages all over the place. But at the same time, for those who don't know his history, he used to be an accountant, he used to be a maths teacher, and he used to lecture economics at MIT also, and also did coding in the army and all sorts of stuff. So he understands numbers. And if you've never seen him speak and you've never seen him share this kind of stuff before, brace for impact, he knows what he's talking about. And so, Dad, firstly, thank you so much for, just saying yes to this journey as well and joining me on this crazy path of learning about the ups and downs of how money moves in the markets and all that. And then deciding to not just quit when you hit that first wall of, the enthusiasm and the optimism of something new, but then realizing there's a little bit more to it than you thought, but deciding to actually lean in and go deeper and discover why price moves and why does it reject this line? And then how does the code work? How can I develop my own thing? And going absolutely all in on designing something that I know God prophesied over you through Sean Boltz in California, which is pretty massive. And in light of that, before I hand it over to you, Sean actually posted something yesterday that Jess found, which is this. And for those of you who don't know, Sean Boltz is widely respected prophet all over the world, but he said, this is a season of divine positioning. If God has entrusted you with a business, a project, or an idea, hold it with faith. He's preparing you to be a beacon of hope in a world hungry for solutions. And so I thought that was so crazy that after we had just made the decision to do this, that the same guy that prophesied this entire journey of a Dad came out and said that just after we decided it's go time. And so, guys, without further ado, Dad, I'm going to hand it over to you, and then we'll keep moving through the night. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Ty. Thanks for your kind words. It's really good to chat with you guys tonight. I always love the sense of community and family and doing things together. And we've all been on this journey, trying to become successful traders. And I'm really passionate. Today I popped into Countdown and the lady served me so wonderfully with a smile. Now I'm thinking she's like probably making minimum wage, working hard. And yet us with a click of a button, once we have skills in a minute or more, we can earn what she's earning in an hour. And so there's just such great potential. That's what really drew me into trading, just the potential to get out of the rat race, to live in financial freedom, and those kind of things. And I really do have a passion for that. So in what I've been developing, I've never seen that just for me, to get rich. That's not really been my motive. I really do want to help people. And so I think, I've spoken about my journey, many times, but I think we all go through the frustration. It looks so easy. And then when you start trading live, you make losses. And you learn a lot. And, that's been my journey, is I've made losses too. And then I've always tried to question, what would I have done differently? How could I develop something that would make me more profitable? And then obviously trying other strategies and not really working for me. And so it was really been this journey of trying to become profitable, not, dealing with the frustrations, and then trying to work out a better way to trade, a system that would help people make money and become, debt-free and live abundantly and live blessed. And so it's been my journey. And then obviously picking up programming, hadn't done it for a long time, but I really believe just God gave me just divine grace, because what's come out of me, it's just like way beyond my natural ability. I really feel the Holy Spirit's been on this. As Tar said, it's been prophesied to. So I just feel that there has been favor in me to develop something. And so I've been at it for over a year now, I think. And I've developed a few different strategies and tried different things. So a lot of my journey has been experimenting. And then every week I send Tar an update, try this, try that. And so it's been a long journey, and then obviously the psychological side is huge, because I heard someone say the other day, anyone can explain to someone how to trade. But when you actually, in the face of it, the charts are moving, it somehow a different story. So it's really wanted to help people show something that's also psychologically easier. And so Tom mentioned trend. That's why we've called it Trendforce. Initially, you would have been familiar just with my little Trendforce bar. That is really just an oscillator. But now we have also the main indicator called Trendforce. It's a bit different to what I showed the other week. That also included reversals. But as Tar said, we really do want to go with trend. There's that saying in trading, trend is your friend. And so I've programmed this indicator now to only give signals when you're with trend. And so that's an absolute key. That already halves, half the signals. So you don't get false signals. And then also we'll talk next week about rules, but the simplicity of this indicator is there are only 4 entry rules. So I'm not talking about it this week. All you have to do is apply 4 rules. And if you apply these 4 rules, you will be profitable. And again, you only have to win 50% of your trades. If you're going for a 2-to-1 ratio, let's say your average stop loss is 10, your average win is 20. If you lose 5, you'll be down 50. But if you win the other 5, you'll be up 100. So you'll be profitable. So it's not difficult to become a profitable trader, but it does take intense discipline and patience. And so with what we've now finally come up with, you will need discipline, you will need patience. But if you follow the 4 simple rules, you'll be successful. Also the other key is what also I struggled with is like entry and exit. And those things have to be settled before you trade. If you haven't got a clear strategy for entry and a clear strategy for exit, then essentially you're just gambling and you're going to lose money. And so what I've tried to develop is a mechanical trading strategy. And so it's non-emotional, because I tell you what, the psychology of trading, we all know it's emotional. There's fear of missing out, fear of making losses, fear of leaving money on the table, all those kinds of things. And so successful traders are mechanical traders. You have a clear set of rules for entry, a clear set of rules for exit. You stick to those rules, and then you'll become successful. With this indicator, I believe you should win, 80% of your trades quite easily, and you only have to win 50%. And so I really want to try and train in our training too, not just is really train and equip people to be successful traders. So it's all about trends. So can I share my screen, Ty? Do I just press share? Cool. So here we go. So this is what it now looks like. So, what I'll do, this is going to be just a very quick overview. So you can see there are 3 indicators on this page. This main one in the main trading pane, TFI, that stands for your main Trendforce indicator, version 1. Then here's TFM, which is your Trendforce MACD. And then those who are familiar with my oscillator, this is your Trendforce oscillator. So initially, when I try to work with only having 2 indicators, because I know with TradingView, you can get 2 for free, but you end up with too much clutter. You really do need, I think, 3 indicators to be really safe and really profitable. So what I'll do first, I'll just quickly fly through just the main indicator, what's in it. And so under inputs, so the key is trend and trend zone. So let me just show, this is what's called a trend zone. This blue obviously is a buy trend zone. Red is a sell trend zone. This is another trend zone. This green here, we'll come to it. That's a 15-minute trend zone. And we're really on trend here. You've got to go right down. You'll find there's a 1-hour trend zone. And if you went down even lower, you would see the 4 hours. So we're looking at 4 main trend zones to keep us in profit and keep us trading with trend. Plus, you can see I've custom made the MACD. You don't need to have divergence in the strategy. It can be helpful if you know it, but everything can be untracked. But I've also used the same colors. So you can see if you're looking at the MACD here we got also a trend zone in sell mode, and here we got the trend zone in buy mode. I got sort of blue for buy, red for sell. Plus, I've also programmed the MACD for the MACD line and the signal line to also change color with trend. So everything is about trend. Trend is your friend. And so if we just quickly fly through some of the features, I'm not going to unpack everything in detail, but in inputs, we got a 3-minute trend zone. We got a 15-minute trend zone, a 1-hour trend zone, and a 4-hour trend zone. So the whole idea is that we trade with trend, and the safest trades to take is when all those 4 trends line up. Plus, we got resistance and support zones. I can show you them when we look through. So these also serve in a way as order blocks or demand and supply zones. And once they've been fulfilled, they disappear off the screen. But that's also a huge part. Then I've got support and resistance pivots, which are based on Fibonacci numbers. I've got daily level, weekly levels, monthly and quarterly. And you can turn them on or off. I like to make different ones, different thicknesses, so I know which ones they are. But they're huge for support and resistance. So when you're setting your take profits, you don't have anything in the way. And then also I've got trend lines. They are automatic, and these I really respect. They are super strong for support and resistance. They also plot automatically. There's also a POC, point of control, that's yellow. Plus there's a trend table. You can see in the right-hand corner, it's basically telling you what the trends are. Then you can see, I've spoken a lot about candle strength. This is what I like about this indicator, because for me, in my early days of trading, I was always struggling to work out, when is this a strong trend? Should I stay in? Should I take money? And so the colors change of the candles change depending how strong the trend is. So if it's neutral, they look hollow. If it's a strong, bullish trend, there will be a darker green. And then once it gets very strong, bright. And same for our bearish candles, they will be hollow. If it's weak, if it's a strong trend, they go to full color and very strong, bright. Then the outer range bands, that will take a whole kind of a scarp in itself, a whole zoom. But these are these outer bands that change color with trend, very important for the strategy. Then what I like about this strategy too is that there's an automatic take profit and stop loss line. So when a buy signal or sell signal appears, you don't have to start thinking, where should I put my stop loss? Where's 2 to 1? Where's 3 to 1? Where's 1.5 to 1? With every signal, you will get a place to put your stop loss. That's generally a low risk and a good place. Plus, there are 3 take profit options. Now, these can change. I've set in the programming, I've set them to 1.5 to 1, 2 to 1, and 3 to 1. You can change those. And then plus I've got high highs, lower lows, but I won't talk about that today. Then in the style, everything is editable. There's your 4-hour trend zone. It's a teal color. Your 1-hour trend zone is a purple color. Your 15-minute, that one changes color. So you can see right now, here's your 15-minute trend zone. You can see green, so we definitely 15-minute is up. Then we've got 2 little short-term moving averages. I just call them M1 and M2. You can see here, you can see there they are with a colorful between, and our 3-minute trend zone over there. We've got minus support and resistance, then all our pivots. I won't talk about that too much tonight. Then plus you got buyer and seller momentum, which is really helpful. I'll show you just a few trades. A little diamond appears, but everything is edible. You can change the size of anything. You can change the color. You can change the shapes. I use diamonds, but there's a lot of options there. Buy and seller momentum, then your buy and sell signal. Plus, I won't talk about this tonight. That's your 15-minute trend zone break. So if the trend does change and you break above or below the 15-minute, a little triangle will appear. And there's your trend zone color. So that's basically just a quick overview. There's a lot in there. And so all these things are editable. I know Ty doesn't share the same color choice as me, so his looks completely different. So everything can be changed. Lines can be changed. But one of the real strengths of this indicator is that you're also being told how strong the trend is. As I said, I really struggled to stay in trades. When I used normal candles and I didn't understand trend, often I would pull out early, leave money on the table. So what I've done, the main 3 trend, this is your 3-minute trend here. So this is your trend zone on the 3-minute. So if you looked at a 3-minute, this line would be in the middle of this line. And likewise, This is your 15-minute trend zone. If you turn to a 15-minute, this line would kind of be in the middle of your 15-minute. And likewise, if you go all the way down to your 1 hour, which is quite low down, this is the 1 hour trend zone. That would be in the middle of this band over here. And so also all the main three moving averages in your trend zone, you can see they change color from time to time. They are telling you how strong the trend is. And so when it's bright, it means it's strong. And when it's darker, it's still up, but it means it's weak. Then, of course, they change color and reverse. And so I'll just go through a couple of sell signals. So basically, when these colors all line up, it's generally safe to buy, safe to sell. But we'll do the rules next week, the 4 rules. And plus, many of you will be familiar with Trendforce. This is a great indicator. I've tweaked it slightly, neatened it up a bit. You can see I've added little triangles. Hopefully it's visible. You can see at the bottom there's a triangle up there. That means the previous pullback or trend is reversed. It's now going to move up. And likewise, if you're in a buy and you see that pointing down, it means that trend's coming to an end. And sure enough, you can see it ended over there. So what I've made it is far more editable too. So if we just turn on just the settings for Trendforce under inputs, I realized that when I put Trendforce onto my monitor, the settings were different. And so the lines were thicker or thinner in the circle. So you can automatically change the line width of the trend line. You can change the circle size. You can also edit globally the 4 main colors are used and the white, 5 colors. And then it's the same as before. You got a short-term trend line. That's the line on top. You got your main trend bar in the middle. Dark colors are pullback. Plus you got your circles for just confirmation trend, and plus the reverse. So it's similar, just a little bit tweaked. So just to show you, before I go back to time, just to show you, I've zoomed this out a bit because this trade wasn't as big as it looks. This was the NAS today, but just to show you how it works. So because we're now we're in an up trend. Okay, this is your 15 minutes. We're also above the 1 hour. We're also above the 4 hour. So in a case like this, you only would be taking buy. So you would see no sell signals are printed. So previously you would have probably got a sell signal there, but you can see why I don't like counter trend. Can you see when you're with trend, look how smooth the candles look. There's a nice move up. Then you come to counter trend. Look how jerky it is. It's up, down, moves down, up, down. That's why counter trend is risky, because they pivot off the different EMAs. You know, all the big money is in algo trading, algorithm, and often they're set to fib numbers. So when you use fib EMAs, they tend to pivot off those. So the way this indicator is set, you're always trading above the EMAs, which makes it very safe. So for example, with this buy, there were no EMAs you had to cross. That gave it the biggest chance of reaching target. Whereas if you took a sell here, this is bouncing off EMAs all the way. You could have been stopped out numerous times. So this really is to set you up for success. So I was looking on my computer today with this buy signal. This is a great example. This was just before 6 o'clock today. There was a buy signal on the NAS, and this is like the perfect buy signal. So it's a great example to look at. I mean, firstly, you can see our outer range bands are green, and you don't take trades in the middle. I'm going to talk more next week. So we're right on the outside of these range bands. You get a buy signal. What's also good, you can see, if you can see carefully, there's a little diamond sticking up. So not only have you got a buy signal, there's also that little diamond means there's also a buy momentum. Plus, you're starting the trade on a full color candle, which means there's good momentum already. Plus, obviously, in the uptrend, MACD's looking good. And if you look down on Trendforce, you can see you've got 3 bright lights. So that is a great trade. And I delete the take profits and stop losses after each trade. Otherwise, the chart will become too cluttered. But I know TP3 was right up here, so it hit the TP3 target. What's also good about this trade, on the buy signal, can you see this is your 3-minute trend zone? So this doesn't always happen, but in this case, as the buy signal came, the 3-minute trend zone was bright green, which means very strong. So even though I would have got nervous here because it shot up quickly, then suddenly it's ranging. You got some doji candles with wicks on both ends. Should I stay? Should I go? Boom! The 3-minute trend zone is saying very strong. Stay in the trade. Of course, once you get here, candles grow bright green, which means buyers are piling in, and that's going to keep pushing price up. And so that's basically how easy a buy signal is. If I look at gold, I mean, unfortunately, the last week with the elections, there's been a lot of range. It's been up and down, so it's not the best week, to look at examples. But this is a classic example of a good trade. If we look at gold and look at a sell, this was this afternoon around just after 2 o'clock. Now we in gold here on the 1 minute. We can see there was a sell signal. This is also a very good signal. Now, there's a lot of little things I've still got to unpack and show you, but basically this was very much with trend. So again, we can see this is the 15 minute. It's basically all red from the sell signal. That means we're in a strong downtrend. We can see the 1 hour. This is the 1 hour trend zone, also down. Plus this is the 4 hour. When I looked at the NAS now, the 4 hour was an uptrend, but it was so far down you couldn't see it. But you can see this is a very safe trade to take because all your trend zones are lined up. You're all in a downtrend. If we just look closely, you can see this is telling you, this little diamond tells you, gives you advance warning. That diamond tells you that sellers are entering the market. That is seller momentum. Plus, if you look down at the Trendforce oscillator, you can see there's a triangle pointing down. That means the previous move up is now reversed. You can expect it to go down. What's also good about the signal, as you get the sell signal, you can see that the 3 minute trend zone is bright red. That's a very good sign that trade's really going to move. And sure enough, it does. So, I mean, unfortunately, the take profits and the stop loss have been deleted because new signals are printed. But you can basically see that the 3 minute trend zone remained very strong, almost to the bottom where it hits. You can see there's a Fibonacci pivot over here. And so that was a great trade. You won't always get perfect trades. So I'll show you sometimes you get a sell signal. We'll talk more next week. But here we can see that the trend zone is blue. So I wouldn't have taken that. You can wait. Boom, over here, look there. You've got a diamond. That means there's seller momentum. At the same time, should I take this trade? Look there, the 3 minute trend zone went bright red, which means it's really going to drop. At the same time, most of your Trendforce also was bright red. And so that fell. And the same here, prices still falling. If you miss those signals here, sell. You wouldn't enter there because you've got blue, which means there's buy. And every time you get a signal and the trend zones are wrong color, it pulls back. There it's blue, sure, it pulls back. Here, you got a sell signal and it's blue, it pulls back. So if you wanted to enter that trade, you would wait patiently. Boom, there's your entry. You can see the 3 minute trend zone goes bright red, plus most of Trendforce is also bright red. And so those would have been 3 very easy signals. So this is not rocket science. As I say, we're going to talk about the rules next week. Trend is your friend. You're not going to get counters. Often I would try and take these quick ones, but I tell you get burnt. It's better to be patient, exercise discipline, stick to the rules. We also want to teach good, capital management too. That'll be part of the strategy. How not to blow your accounts, how to patiently build your capital, etc., etc. But that's really just all I wanted to share tonight, just a brief overview to show you how it works, how simple it really is. And again, if you're just going for 2 to 1, even if you lose half your trades, you will become a profitable trader. And with the rules we've got, they're very easy rules, 4 rules, easy to remember. I can see many people becoming profitable very quickly with this strategy and with this indicator. So, Ty, I think I'll leave it there and back to you.
Oh, thanks, Dad. Let me figure out. I know I don't know if you can find the unshare button. Otherwise, I'll have to share my screen briefly and then.
Okay, I've only got
put it back.
share. Let me just see if I can find unshare. I've only got a button that says share.
That's fine. I'll share mine because believe it or not, there you go. All your colors on my screen. Did you ever think you'd see that?
Oh my God, okay.
And now, same as you, where's the unshare button gone? That's funny. Anyway, Zoom's updated itself. How on earth? Sorry, team, that's funny. Something's new. Let's get rid of that. Where are the settings gone? Okay, now I see what you mean. But they're on my other screen. There you go. Bam. We're good. We're back. Okay, let me pin myself. I must have removed. There we go. We're good. Dad, thank you so much. That was awesome. So I appreciate you taking the time to explain it. That was a nice little light flyover of it all. But yeah, guys, 4 very, very simple rules. I saw a couple of questions there on the side. Yes, sir. It looks great. Looks awesome. Thanks, Tim. Amazing work. Looking pretty good, Tim. Thank you. So refreshing. Looks amazing. Oh, I love it, guys. There we go, Dad. That's going to fill your love tank. But couple of questions there. That was the 1 minute that Dad was showing. So everything's designed to be on a 1 minute chart and for you to be able to be aware of what price is doing. So part of those rules, guys, Dad and I, we definitely are looking at a 3 minute chart, usually split. It's a bit easier to demonstrate it on a 1 minute to give you the simplicity. But the 3 minute, you can see there, one of those moving averages that are there represent the 3 minute trend zone. And so you can be aware of it without, but it definitely pays. I think there's a question there about working on other time frames. Generally speaking, the higher the time frame, the greater the accuracy. You're going to have way less signals, but they're going to be way more accurate. So yeah, few questions about all of that. But yeah, just so cool seeing your feedback there, guys. So there was one more about the POC. That is not necessarily the rule, but it is, obviously there is a POC in there. But you can, anyway, well, I won't get into the nerdiness of those rules exactly. We're going to break them down in detail, guys. Tuesday night, next week, Dad's going to go through the rules in detail so everybody knows how to drive this thing. But between now and then, we've got to figure out some logistics. So there we go. There's the first question. How is it distributed? It's coming, Mark. Here we go. So previously, guys, the Trendforce bar that you're familiar with, that a lot of you probably still have access to, the way that we did that was, obviously at the time we were completely linked arms with the Academy and doing everything with them. And so anybody that had an empowered pack, we were giving them Trendforce free, the bottom oscillator. And so now that we're not really building anything in that direction, we have got more than enough of our own. We're taking it all in-house, guys. This is our stuff. And so if you are choosing to continue with the Academy and you feel like there's still value for you in there, then that's awesome. Lean into whatever you want to lean into. That's really it, guys. I want everyone to feel free at the end of the day to do whatever they feel is in their heart. And so this, though, to be really honest, the Academy's got absolutely nothing to do with this. This is Dad's creation that we've obviously been testing, and we have got another person that's been testing this and really has done phenomenal. 0 blown accounts with it and has grown it handsomely. And so, besides my dad and myself. Aside from that, though, we want to now figure out the pathway and the plan for what this looks like. And so, got a plan. Like I said, we could have spent a month or two building a website, recording videos, doing all that stuff, branding and names and all that, but none of that really matters for you guys. I know that a lot of you just want this thing now. After doing that Zoom a couple weeks ago, the feedback was overwhelming. And so we thought, okay, fine. As much as I love excellence and want to brand everything and have it looking good and all those things and blah, 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 just going to rather do it this way. Give you guys access to it first. And so, you know, man, I had so many chats with people today. It was so fun. Chatted to Mario a bunch and Etienne and other guys, because we've been in this space a long time. We have personally spent thousands upon thousands, if not possibly tens at this point, on our education and learning this stuff and how it all works. And, you know, we chatted about that. It's like, you know, we've had people in our community that have been doing this for 20 plus years who would charge $5,000 to teach their strategy. And their strategy was how you would, you know, approach the markets. It didn't include an indicator, and it involved 3 months of mentorship. And so once you've learned that strategy, hopefully it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I know that that's not actually how Mario still trades to this point, but he spent the money on it, and he spent the money on more. And so instead of, and the problem with that, the reason why I'm Academy is so attractive for so many of us is because it had a much lower price point. Not many people have $5,000 to go and drop on a education for something that they're not even sure they're going to be able to crack. And so not $5,000, definitely not. You know, the Academy for a lot of us was 250 US a month. So do the math on that, 430 odd New Zealand bucks a week. And with that, obviously, you got access to different indicators, different educators, all the things. But you only need one, guys. You need one thing that works, and you need to focus on that one thing. Some of you may have been learning crypto and Forex at the same time, and some of you are branching out into social media and all these different things. I would say this, if you want to learn how to trade, then it's not the season to try to learn everything else. I spent my first 6 months in the Academy nailing crypto and understanding that space. Shout out to Bitcoin breaking new highs almost every day, above 80K right now. Oh, it's good. Anyway, I'm sure all of you that are in that space are loving it. But in that, guys, it's about focus. And so, you know, that was 250 odd US. I know there's a few other companies out there now that are charging 150 US plus. And so we're in New Zealand, and we want to make something that was affordable for everybody here. And at the same time, we're still mapping out what that's going to look like. So we're committing to doing at least one Tuesday night training every single week in the midst of the school term, so we can actually give ourselves a little bit of a break when there's holidays and things like that. And then very open to doing more as the demand increases if there's the opportunity, and we're able to jump on live and analyze the charts. And if you guys are keen to do that, whether that's, you know, Dad and I are usually up in the mornings and can't really be all that vocal and wide awake at 5, 6 in the morning. And sometimes some of us are in London. So we'll figure out what it looks like to add more sessions. But out the gate, we want to commit to every Tuesday night inside the school term and a live event every 4 to 6 weeks in Auckland. So if there's demand, we'll travel. But right now, We want to bring the community back together, get everyone on the same page, get this thing humming and running, and go from there. And so we landed on, this is the crazy thing, guys. We were praying and really thinking about how to price this thing for ages. Landed on a result on Thursday last week. Landed on a number. We felt peace about it. The next morning, we all went to the strawberry place in Cleveland, and the exact dollar amount we landed on with no cents on it was the exact amount. We both looked at each other and went, well, that's a confirmation right there. So guys, we've landed on 130 bucks New Zealand a month to get access to obviously all three indicators, the community that we're going to be building around this and how we're going to scale it. And I can tell you now, you're not going to find anything close to that anywhere. Like, I can tell you now too that I've had not just the academy. I mean, I was in chats with Alex Morden today about what that looks like in terms of, if what we're doing aligns with them in the future, and, talking to me about whether it becomes one of their scanners. There's been another company as well, but we really feel like this is something that God has given Dad and our community, and that it's time to build our thing. So there we go. I'm seeing all the amazing, and that's incredibly generous. And guys, you're amazing. So guys, this is where we're aiming at. So once we have a website, once we have everything launched and it's available for new people that have got zero experience in trading, it's going to be $200 to join, and that'll cover your first month, and then it'll become $130 after that, because there's naturally a bit of admin. It's actually a lot of admin for me to onboard someone and give them the indicators, the Q&A that's going to happen with a brand new person. But then beyond that, it's going to be $130. So we just thought for all of you guys that are already on this journey, I've still got the admin, but we wanted to give you guys first dibs and just make it $130 so you can set it up from there and you're just good to go. So a few more things I've still got to figure out. What I have already built is the New Zealand dollars. There we go. So 130 New Zealand, not 130 US, which 130 US would also been cheaper than pretty much almost everything out there. But guys, we want to really start this at a place that people can get access to. Like, obviously not everybody has a huge buffer in their life to learn the skill. And quite frankly, if you don't have a bit of cash flow in your life, you should be out there doing what I did years ago, which is driving Uber Eats a couple nights to increase cash flow. Because if you're stressed about bills, you're not going to be a successful trader in a hurry, because you're going to be trying to make money too fast, and you've got to commit to learning the skill, not committing to chasing the dollars that are possible, but they come in time. So 130 New Zealand dollars per month. And so what I've done, guys, I've built a Google form very similar to what I did when we did the first Trendforce release at the beginning of the year. So in there's a couple simple questions: first name, last name, email address, whatever, and then your TradingView username. You've got to put your username in there the exact way that it is spelt. And so I've even got a little screenshot in there of what mine looks like. Once I've got your TradingView username, I can obviously send you the indicators, and we'll break down a video of exactly what it looks like to find those. You already know probably if you're watching this and you're in the squad. And then I've got two options. So if you're in New Zealand, I've got a brand new bank account that I've made for Dad and myself for this. So there's a BNZ bank account right there that you can either do a one-time thing, or you can just it just makes way more sense, set up an automatic payment monthly from this week, and then that'll just go through once per month, 130. And then I don't have the headache of removing access and granting access and all that kind of jazz. And internationally, I have also got my PayPal details on there as well. So you can set up whatever you want with PayPal, and you can select the currency, and that should all work. So I know there might be a few, teething pains in the growth of this thing, guys, and getting off the ground. But instead of making you all wait another few months, we just thought, I'm sure we can make this happen. And so looking like you guys are pretty stoked with that so far. Etienne says, shut up and take my money. I love you, bro. Shout out to you for giving me that cable I needed earlier too. So I love community, and I just can't wait to get us all back in the room. I know that we have an international family and you guys are all over the place, but we have definitely created some special memories of being in the room together and having sometimes as many as like 80 people plus in a room, learning together, growing together, and doing that. And so 8th of December, guys, that's what we want to do is do our next event on a Sunday night. And in the future, we're open to doing full-blown, Saturday workshops that last maybe a Friday night and into a Saturday, and really build the community factor around us. Like, we really know that is something special that we want to grow and build. And so that's what we're going to do. So just checking up on these comments and things. Sheesh, so good. Sweet. 130. Yeah, so Zeph, 130 from here on out. Like, if you guys are part of this initial, what I'm going to call a soft launch, sounds kind of weird. It's just 130 for you guys ongoingly. You don't have to worry about what will become 200. So it will be 200 to start once we have a website and a sign-up page and a whole paywall system in place, just to make it easy, because there is just more admin, especially if those are brand new people that have not been in the trading space already. You don't know what my phone has looked like over the last few years. So I just know what that looks like. So for now, for you guys, you already know what the go is. And so yeah, obviously guys, this is all based inside of Marcus. Can't freaking wait. Dude, love you, bro. Such a manageable price. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, that's been our heart. Like Dad said, we want to make this accessible, and we know that through time, over time, this is going to scale, and it's going to be, we're going to be able to help a lot of people with it. And so that was especially like what Sean Bolt said in that prophetic word too, like offering solutions to the world that they need. So we believe after a lot of testing and adjusting and etc. that we're ready, and we know that you guys are ready, and yeah, just believe that we've got something very, very special, and we just want to put it in your guys' hands and get you guys going, get you guys the rules. So here's the roadmap. So I've got the Google form like 99% complete. I'm going to drop that in the group chats, or message me if you're not seeing it in there. In that Google form, you can fill out your info. And then from there, you will have between now and say Friday to make that. So today's Tuesday right now. If you're watching this recording later, it's Wednesday, who knows when, but maybe say Friday this week to make that payment. And then I will then spend sometime Saturday, probably Sunday, sending everybody the indicator while the markets are closed. And then everyone should have access to it. You'll know how to find it. And then come Tuesday night, we will do our first in-depth training on what those rules will look like. Between now and then, you guys can fiddle and do your own colors and do your own thing. If you want to keep it the same, who knows? Maybe even I'll do that for the sake of moving at the pace of family for a little while and let my eyeballs cry a little bit. But anyway, we all have personal preference. That's the cool thing, guys. You can edit this thing and make it your own. You can increase the thickness of lines or thin them out. You can change the sizes of things, the colors of things. I like to take the background pivots and adjust their opacity down so it's less visible in front of me. You can make this whatever you want it to be because it's in TradingView. Find me another company that does that. It doesn't exist as far as I know. So anyway, guys, really, really pumped. Zeph says, bring back Tuesday team nights. Yep, they're coming, bro. That's it. I mean, we thought we'd just do this on Monday because we just couldn't wait any longer, and it's the 11th of the 11th, and it felt right. So ripping into the week this way. But guys, I'll drop that Google form soon. You can fill out your info. Then I'll know, there'll be a button on there to say I have paid the 130. So once you submit that form, I know that it's all gone through. I will then have to go through the giant list of TradingView names and reconcile that to payments, and then send you all access, and then off we go. Oh, I'm excited. How about you? So really pumped, guys. Really cool to see who was on here tonight. I know some will catch this recording later, but it really is a brand new day and a brand new season, and we're really excited to get you guys all on the same page. I cannot tell you how many of you guys have been asking me, can I get it? Can I get it? Can I get it now? When you guys going to freaking get this thing done? And so it's done and we're ready. So love it. So cool to see. Elaine says, let's freaking go. Mikey, brother, I've had, yeah, you've had some access, bro. You've got proximity is the cheat code to success, right? That's what Alex Morton always says. Yeah, that's it. And that's what we've realized, guys. Like, there's people that are already crushing it with this, and we know that it's time now. So I will also, one more little update. I'm going to create a brand new group chat, specifically called Trendforce, and I'm going to go back to using Facebook Messenger. Forgive me if you don't like that, but there's so much more engagement on our Facebook Messenger chat we don't even use anymore. I posted about doing this night in there, and 80 people see the message and 15 respond. And then in Telegram, there's like 4 active people out of 200. So for now, I'm going to make a Facebook Messenger chat solely for this, because I understand that not everybody might be leaning into it. And so we've still got our team Telegram chat for all things the Academy. If people are doing things in there, there's crypto conversations, there's all sorts. But for this, let's max it out, guys. 250 is the max on Facebook Messenger. We maxed it out before, and we'll probably do it again. But for now, let's just rip into it. And so I will get finalizing on that. I'll get to finalizing that Google form. I'll drop that. We'll see who's going to fill in the first 10 spots in there, because you're going to be the first 10 to get it. And then off we go, guys. So in the meantime, in between time, just checking what's coming in there. I'm just really fired up and excited for you guys to get this thing. And so obviously we've got a little bit of work to do, but by this time next week, you'll have Trendforce, the indicator on your screen, the oscillator you've known to be Trendforce, and the MACD as well. And so 3 indicators. If you have, so this is also something I've been doing. I'll lightly mention this. I've been having lots of in-depth chats with my account manager at Black Bull, and so working on some deals there that can hopefully help our whole team, because I know we wanted to initially try squash it all into 2 indicators, and it just wasn't enough. And I know you can get, with a free TradingView subscription, you can fit everything with 2. If you're doing this thing seriously, guys, TradingView is not all that expensive, and so even just an essential plan. There's pro, there's premium. I have to have premium obviously because I'm sharing indicators and I'm using everything. But with Black Bull, if you join them and you're trading, one lot per week or month or something, they will over time they'll be rebating your account the amount that you spent on a TradingView subscription. And so there is that, which is something that they do already. And I'm trying to figure out if I can score some extra cool things for us. And so I've been chats with that guy over there, maybe even going to go meet him face to face pretty soon because he's here in Auckland. Guys are one of the highest rated brokers in the world. I know a bunch of you are already on them. But that being said, he's also keen to be that point person for our whole community too. So I'll include something of that in the Google form if you would like that, because then you got one guy to go through for all help with things Black Bull. I see lots of fire emojis. I'm happy with that. Cool stuff. So there we go. ATN's dropping some value. Yay, guys. Let me come up for air. My Zoom voice is not quite back in flash yet. So with that, not even on an hour, I think we'll call it a night. Guys, thank you for being with us. Love and appreciate you all so much. Cannot wait to launch this thing into the stratosphere with each and every one of you. But you can say that you were a part of the very first group to get your hands on this thing, and then we will see where we go from there. But tonight, thank you for being with us live. Thanks for watching the recording. In the meantime, we'll catch you, I suppose next week, Tuesday, will be our next Zoom, all based around this. And in the meantime, we'll see you in the chats. All right, love you all. Thanks again, Dad. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We'll see you all soon. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, everyone. Good night.